Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Danny Blind, who is the Holland assistant and the father of the ex-United player Daley Blind, has slammed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tactics. So these are the things that Danny Blind has come out and said. So he said, what is the identity of this Manchester United team? What is his plan? Is it exactly that what he's missing with Solskjaer? And then he said there's not a tactical plan. His team are not able to put pressure on their opponents like Manchester City. It does not always have to be full pressing, but we don't see any of it. Everything in the United team is based on the individual quality of players. They have those qualities and it often gets a result for the team, but it is never a team result. It has not been looking good in a number of matches. United struggle to be dominant. That is the whole problem. And he said, wait a second. Let's go further down to what else he said. And he said he added, after they took the lead against Everton, they started to wait for them in their own half. They want to score on the counter, but that is not good enough for a club like Manchester United. The next thing that you see is how they struggled to turn the game round when Everton equalised. They hardly created any chances. The results are not good. He lost against Young Boys, against West Ham in the Cup, against Aston Villa, and they were lucky against Villarreal because of Ronaldo's quality. And let me just scroll further down. Against Everton, another draw, and they only just got away with that result. It has to improve, and it can improve. We cannot say that Solskjaer's had a long career at top level as manager before United. Yes, he was a champion in Norway, but that is a different level. I know why he gets more time than other coaches. He is a child of the club. He scored the legendary goal in 1999 which helped them win the Champions League, but all that is not enough for what is being produced right now. So that is everything that Danny Blind has mentioned. I've got to agree with him now. You know, Solskjaer, he's not the right manager for Manchester United, and I've told you, a lot of United fans have got strong reservations about Solskjaer's decision making, because analysing the vast majority of the games Solskjaer's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive, and Solskjaer has no proven pedigree as a player. Obviously before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. He endured 2 spells at Molde, and before Molde he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he ended up getting them relegated. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is 100% safe for now, because not so long ago it said that Man United is still fully committed to Solskjaer and have no plans to replace the club legend as manager despite a topsy-turvy start to the season. We have only won 2 of our last 6 games in all competitions, so that's why Solskjaer is under pressure. The Daily Mail said not so long ago that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future as manager could depend on the next 10 games. We have got tough games coming up. Solskjaer received very good backing in the summer transfer window. John Murtough backed him. John Murtaugh is our director of football, and we certainly made the right decision getting a director of football in, because I did mention that's one of the structural changes we needed at the club. Darren Fletcher also backed him, the Glazers backed him, and Ed Woodward has backed him. And Man United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window. You know, we made 4 signings. We brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Aston Villa, brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund, brought Rafael Varane in from Real Madrid, and we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. We spent around 141 million in the summer transfer window. Solskjaer's enjoyed like 5 transfer windows now as permanent Manchester United manager. The vast majority of Manchester United fans are demanding Ollie out. Maybe there's still some Man United fans that are Ollie in. Obviously, you've got some United fans that want Antonio Conte to replace Solskjaer. You've obviously got some United fans that want Zidane to replace Solskjaer. Solskjaer has to win a trophy at Manchester United, I'd say, this season to basically save his job. He's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. We know Solskjaer's ambition for this season, and that's to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. That's 8 years ago now. And I'm very, very sceptical that we're going to win the Premier League under Ollie, or win anything under Ollie, should I say. But earlier on this season, Solskjaer did say that we must leave a legacy of silverware. We should be winning the Premier League this season, revert back to what I've mentioned before, because we've got a title-winning squad. So there's no more excuses. You know, Solskjaer's ran out of excuses. Earlier on this season, Solskjaer told his current Man United squad that it's better than the 1999 treble-winning team that Ole was part of. You know, this season is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager, and I did mention at the start of this season that this season was going to be big for Ollie, because Ollie has got big expectations to exceed. In the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year, and we made a mistake giving him that contract, because I can assure he won't see it out. A lot of Manchester United fans will agree with me on that aspect. In December, Solskjaer would have been in charge of Manchester United for exactly 3 years. Solskjaer got appointed in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The reason we gave him the job permanently back in March 2019 was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager, and a lot of United fans thought we made a mistake giving him the job permanently. Maybe we should have waited until the end of that particular season to decide or not whether he was the right candidate. But I am surprised that Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager, because we've endured very bad periods under him where he's been extremely close to getting sacked. But revert back to what I've said before, the reason Solskjaer is still Man United manager is because he's a legend of the club. That's what's basically saved his job. Disregarding being a legend of the club, I can assure he wouldn't have been here by now. Solskjaer has signed 14 players so far as Manchester United manager. In the summer of 2019, he recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January 2020, he recommended Bruno Fernandes in and Odin Igalo in on loan. In the summer of 2020, he recommended Edison Cavani in, Donny van der Beek, Alex Telles, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri. Got 4 of those players on deadline day in the summer of 2020, and in this year's summer transfer window, he brought Tom Heaton in, Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane, and we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo. So, We've spent like 441 million so far under Solskjaer. Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. He's got rid of players permanently. He's loaned quite a few players out. The players he's got rid of permanently, he offloaded Daniel James in this year's summer transfer window. He was the only player who was sold in this year's summer transfer window. That was disappointing from a Man United perspective. Solskjaer also released Sergio Romero and Joe Pereira. In January, he offloaded Igalo, Rojo and Timothy Fosu-Mensah. Ollie's also offloaded Borthwick Jackson and James Wilson. Ollie also offloaded Ashley Young, Valencia, Damian Smalling. Fellaini, he went in January 2019, offloaded Angel Gomez, Herrera, Lukaku and Sanchez. So they're a lot of the players Solskjaer's got rid of permanently. The players we loaned out in this year's summer transfer window. We loaned Brandon Williams out, Ethan Laird, Andres Pereira, Axel Tuanzebe, Tahith Chon and Facundo Pellistri. Some progress has been made under Ollie, because Ollie has got us to semi-finals. He got us to the FA Cup quarter-final last season. Last season, he got us to the Europa League final, and that was his first major final as Man United manager. So there you go. And last season got us a second place finish, and in his first full season, he got us a third place finish. I also like the way Solskjaer develops the youth. And Solskjaer's more or less giving everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players. But I have criticised Solskjaer a lot during his managerial tenure at Man United. I've had my reasons behind it. But despite that anyway, I've got to turn around and make an admission and say he has done a pretty good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager, because he was inheriting a lot of deadwood and he's still inheriting some deadwood now. I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect, I am shocked. And Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over the reins at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. Ollie is managing one of the biggest clubs in the world, if not the biggest. Solskjaer knew he had a lot to do when he came in. I think Ollie is our best manager since Ferguson. He's our fourth permanent manager since Ferguson, because since Ferguson we've sacked 3 managers. We sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Moyes is the worst manager we've ever had. We finished 7th under the David Moyes era. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite him winning the FA Cup. And we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years, despite him winning 3 trophies in his first season. Also got us a second place finish in his first season, so you can say Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United, but the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the top players, bad disputes with the board, and in general the board weren't backing the signings that Jose Mourinho wanted to recommend in. Solskjaer will not replicate what Ferguson did at the club. No manager will replicate what Ferguson did. Not in my lifetime anyway. Ferguson brought success to Manchester United. He won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but Fergie didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United, so that just indicates that it takes some managers time to settle in. Ferguson enjoyed a 27-year tenure at Man United, so he was a very long-serving manager. But we haven't been the same team since Ferguson retired, and a lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when he retired. The only mistake Ferguson made was appointing David Moyes in when he retired, but the reason he did that is because he had a lot of time for Moyes, plus there was both Scottish. We must have brought a good 44-45 players in now since Ferguson retired. Our squad is worth around 805 million. It's like the 3rd most expensive squad in world football, behind PSG and Man City. So there you go. Now earlier on today, I give you the news on Harry Maguire. Man United are set to offer Harry Maguire a new 5-year contract worth £300,000 a week. Maguire is going to be rewarded as he's established himself as a key figure under Solskjaer. At the moment, Maguire currently earns £189,000 a week and he's under contract with Man United until 2025. Maguire is out with injury at the moment. Maguire is out for a few weeks. Maguire had ligament damage in his ankle towards the end of last season. We got Maguire for 80 million from Leicester back in the summer of 2019. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and he's the second most expensive signing at the club. Maguire has made 78 appearances in the Premier League for Man United, but earlier on this season Solskjaer did say he wants new contracts for Maguire, Fernandes, Pogba, Rashford and Luke Shaw. To be fair, we have extended a lot of players' contracts under Solskjaer. You know the news on Paul Pogba. I'll give you some more news on him this morning. Paul Pogba must take a big pay cut if he wants to join Juventus in the summer. Juventus are preparing to offer 10 million in yearly wages to sign Paul Pogba from Man United. Says Juventus must sell Aaron Ramsey and Adrian Rabiot to fund the Pogba deal. Now it recently said Paul Pogba will refuse to rule out a Juventus return after France beat Belgium. Paul Pogba did admit that he always speaks to his ex-Juventus teammates. Earlier on this season, Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola suggested that Paul Pogba could return to Juventus from Man United on a free next summer, because Mino Raiola did mention that Turin is still in Paul Pogba's heart. Well, Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United. Now, last week it said that Paul Pogba wants to stay at Manchester United and he wants to sign a new £400,000 a week contract. You know, that would make Pogba one of the best paid players at the club. At the moment, I think Pogba receives like 290 grand a week. Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Before the start of the season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract, and earlier on this season it said Pogba's very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer. But Paul Pogba's had a long-running transfer saga, hasn't he? No, he's been relentlessly linked to Real Madrid. PSG have been in for him. It said PSG are prepared to offer Pogba £510,000 a week in wages to prize him away from Man United. PSG tried to get him in the summer transfer window, but obviously they couldn't because they got Lionel Messi. No, Barcelona have wanted Paul Pogba, and Inter Milan have been in for him before. Pogba's a good player and he's an imperative player as well. Pogba's enjoyed a good start to the Premier League season. He's already got 7 assists. He produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury for a while and he sustained a couple of ankle injuries at Man United. This season is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. We paid 89 million for him, so reflecting on that, he's our most expensive signing at the moment. We had Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. And you know the news on Anthony Martial as well. There was narratives recently saying that Newcastle are preparing a bid for Anthony Martial. Newcastle have already made formal contact with Martial's representatives. Newcastle are planning to spend big after their takeover by the Saudi Arabians was completed. Man United will demand close to the 54 million they originally paid for Martial back in 2015. There's also like 3 other players that Newcastle want from us. But yeah, I'm expecting Man United to sell players next year. You know, there's a good chance that Martial's going to go. There's a good chance Cavani's going to go. I can't say I want Cavani to go though, because Cavani has made an impact since he's come in. Cavani surprisingly played against Everton before the international break. Cavani's got under a year left on his contract. It was back in May he signed that 1-year contract extension. Cavani receives over £200,000 a week. Cavani's got a good pedigree behind him because he won a lot of trophies when he was at PSG, and not only that, he was a long-serving player at PSG. The other week it said Real Madrid want Cavani on loan in January. Real Madrid wanted him in the summer transfer window, but the club failed to make a move happen. I think Real Madrid will wait until next summer to get their main attacking targets, Haaland and Mbappe. I think Barcelona will reignite their interest in Cavani in January, because Barcelona tried to get Cavani on deadline day in the summer transfer window, but Fabrizio Romano came out and said that Cavani would not be leaving Man United and he'd be staying. Cavani was injured earlier on this season. Juan Mata, he'll go next year as well. Juan Mata's contract at Man United expires next summer. Earlier on this year, Juan Mata signed that 1-year contract extension. I can't understand why we extended his contract for the further year, because Juan Mata doesn't get in R11. And he's lost that yard of pace, plus he's ageing up. But despite all of that, you know, Juan Mata's had a good career at Man United. Mata has been at Man United for 7.5 years, so he's been a long-serving player. Got Mata in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. And at the first part of last season, Juan Mata rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. Donny van der Beek, he'll leave next year. There's many clubs that are in for Donny van der Beek. You know, Newcastle are interested, Everton are interested. Well, Sky Sports recently said that Everton remain interested. Don't forget, Everton were close to signing Donny van der Beek on loan in the summer transfer window, but Solskjaer blocked Van der Beek's exit. I'm hearing from Calcio Mercato that Juventus want him next year. Barcelona are interested in Van der Beek. So there you go. And Fabrizio Romano said not so long ago that Van der Beek is planning to leave the club in January. Van der Beek's agent is said to be working hard on finding a new club for his client. Not so long ago, Van der Beek was furious with Solskjaer as he was left on the bench in Man United's win over Villarreal. Van der Beek was spotted throwing chewing gum in the dugout, and Van der Beek will try to force a January transfer away from Man United following his Villarreal meltdown. Earlier on this season, Van der Beek told Solskjaer his best position. He reckons he'd be best served operating as a number 6 or as a number 8, and earlier on this season, Van der Beek spoke about his Man United future in an exclusive interview with Rio Ferdinand. But, you know, Van der Beek is a good player, but I haven't had much of a perception on him at Man United because he hasn't been given enough game time. You know, this season is Van der Beek's second full season at the club. We got Van der Beek for 40 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025 and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. I think we should offload Fred next year. There's been no rumours of him yet leaving next year. Fred's not good enough to represent the club. We overpaid for Fred. Got him for 50 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. I'm expecting Alex Telles to leave next year. You know, Telles doesn't really get in our team. He only played recently because Luke Shaw had a minor injury and he had illness. You know, the reason we brought Telles in was to provide competition for Shaw, but since we've brought Telles in, we've got the best out of Shaw. Earlier on this season, Telles had injury. We got Telles for 15.4 million. Jones, I think he'll go next year. I think Bailly will go next year. And there's a very good chance that Diego Dalot will leave. Diego Dalot is our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka. Dean Henderson, I think, wants to go out on loan as David De Gea reclaimed the number 1 spot back. So there guys, that's everything to update you for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.